welcome to the Kind of Sort of Maybe show. Thank you for joining us. My name is Jim Zavala.
Melinda.
I'm Claudia.
And thanks for joining us again. You can find us on Twitter at KSM Show. And today we're going to talk about a couple different things. We changed it up a bit because we weren't prepared. No, actually, somebody here didn't watch Ghostbusters. So we're going to go ahead and push that back.
It's a grab bag.
It's a grab bag just of what's going on and what we're doing throughout. I mean, just what's going on, really. So to start off, what are you guys doing? What's going on?
Claudia, you start with these loaded questions all the time.
All
you
right,
don't like
let me narrow it down.
Yeah, you don't ease.
Claudia did something really cool this weekend. You went to a haunted house, right?
Toluca Ranch. I went to the Toluca Ranch with my husband and two friends, and that is I don't know how old it is, but it's in Progreso, and so we found out about it through Facebook. And we went. Luckily, we weren't alone because, man, it's kind of creepy.
Who went? How many people went?
It was Pablo and then two of our friends. Mm-hmm. And we went, right? Pablo drove, thank God, because he said he knew where it was. Mm-hmm. But when we got there, it's the middle of nowhere. Like, empty dirt road. We drove for like 15 minutes and just ugly dirt, you know. We felt like freaking Jeepers Creepers, you know, like, oh God, where are we going? We see this factory. It's dark. And for like, I swear, we almost turned back because it was just super long.
You were freaked out about it.
Yeah, and of course, evil me. Like, I
evil
take out
you? Yeah, at
the
least
yeah, she knows
you're
it now.
embracing it.
I play
That's
like
okay.
the Exorcist song on the Bluetooth, and I'm just blasting it, and that freaks me out even more and freaks out everyone.
So you're psyching yourself up for it. Cool.
It was intense.
So you got there and
we got there.
What was
the
it?
line is long, but it's this empty ranch, right? And next to it, there's a church, an old church with actual, it's a cemetery. And so you get there. When you finally get through the line, they tell you the story. And according to what they told us, it's originally from the 1900s, 1905. It belonged to this guy named Fidencio. And so there was battles, the Mexican Revolutionary War, like a lot of things happened in that ranch. And so people actually died there. In addition to like rumors of the occult and witches and just a lot of things, happening there. And it's actually a historical marker. Okay. So whatever, we get there.
So you're learning while being scared.
Right before you go in, they spook you because of course they have to set the setting. Sure. And man, it was like, I've been to like the Broadway, that Nightmare on Broadway and other haunted houses.
So this isn't your first one?
It's not my first one. And so at first I was like, this is going to be lame. But when they told us that they would grab you, oh Lord, I got a little
they warned you
nerve.
before then?
Yeah. Well,
they
people
have
there.
Because people get
and they
out.
They did a disclaimer, like, if they grab you, don't fight back because it's our actors. Remember, they're people.
They can get hurt, yeah.
So that made me a little nervous, and I was like, oh, God, they're going to carry me. I hope I'm too fat that they can't carry me, So I was like, okay, I'll be fine. They won't. Yeah. We go in there, and it was like 20 minutes long. It was really, really frightening.
It's 2 stories.
3. There's 3 mazes.
Oh.
You start at the first floor, the second floor, then you make your way down till you make it to the backyard, and then you have to find your way out in the backyard.
Oh, okay. So 3 different areas.
I totally forgot about that.
So you've been to too, Melinda?
Yeah, I guess you guys weren't paying attention.
Well, that you went in there as a prank.
Well, okay, so I went to Toluca Ranch to film a documentary about it. So we actually filmed a documentary. It's on YouTube. It's called Toluca Ranch. Shout out, Google it. And so we did the behind the scenes of it, and that's the one that like we were always in contact with the woman who owns it, and so she told us, she's like, oh, there's a window that doesn't work, just like just jiggle it a little bit, then just go in through the window. We're like, okay.
Your first breaking and entering.
Our first breaking entering, yeah. No, there's no breaking. We just entered with our equipment and stuff. And so we got we're getting a bunch of footage, and it was super scary. There's no AC, it was the middle of the day. So it wasn't.
Was that the scary part, that there was no AC?
Yeah. It's 2016.
An abandoned Toluca Ranch, and there was no AC.
No, and I didn't get to experience, at that day, the scary, like, driving there, because when we went, it was the middle of the day. I think we went there at, we probably got there. Maybe we left there at from UTPA to go there at 1 p.m.
Oh, that's really early.
So yeah, the sun was bright and we had a blast going there. We weren't scared. We're freaked out, of course, because when we had to get there. But when we're actually getting our footage, we're having a lot of fun. And she later told us just come by and you can do the actual thing. But for us, the fun part was the behind the scenes and getting all that footage and entering without I guess like being on our own and stuff.
That's
so
cool.
that
So
was,
while
that
you were
was fun.
there for this documentary, it wasn't the Halloween thing. It was obviously something else, right? Before?
Well, we went. It's only open during the Halloween season,
okay.
so we went. I want to say it was maybe 2 weeks before Halloween.
Okay.
So I mean, it was still.
What year was
This
it?
was 2015.
Oh, okay. So last year.
Yeah, 2015.
I don't know. I wasn't there.
2 years ago would be
I think it was-
2014.
I don't think it was 2014. That seems like too long ago. But it wasn't last year. Oh my gosh, it was
So,
2014.
Yeah, probably 2014.
Okay, so it was 2014.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's been there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I
But-
didn't know that.
Yeah, but Toluca Ranch is fun. I
It's
think.
pretty
I think because
creepy.
that was like one of my first like fun like friend experiences.
You went
Sure.
during the week?
Yeah, we went to film the actual
documentary.
We went like on a I don't know, it was like probably like a Friday at 2 p.m. So like it was just us there at the location, and that was fun.
So you've been to other haunted houses, right? Like the other paid haunted houses, right? How did this compare to those?
Well, this one was by far frightening. Last year we went to the Nightmare on Broadway. It was like maybe 10 minutes, 9 minutes. And I mean, they didn't grab you. So it was like, oh, they're there, but they're actors. So
Sure.
you kind of psyched yourself out of it. At least I did. But this one, man, like the clowns, the creatures, the nun from The Conjuring, which I hate. They're just creepy, and then they actually grab you and they, tug at you. And there was this moment where my friends were like, Claudia, hurry up. And so all the creatures in there started saying my name, and they're like, Claudia, Claudia.
Really?
And I was like freaking out. I'm like, no, I'm Maritza. So then they started saying my name, my friend's name. Shout out to Maritza.
There
They
you
started
go.
saying it, and man, it was just creepy. But the worst part for me, like that I can by far say, was at the end, like in the third part of the maze.
Yeah.
And spoilers if you're planning to go to Toluca Ranch, but it's really good.
Fast
At
forward
the
a
end.
couple
I
of
think
minutes.
they change it every weekend though.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
Oh,
Because
okay. They keep it fresh. I
yeah, they
guess.
keep it fresh, because I've seen videos with other cars. Like in my experience, on Saturday, the third part of the maze, which is outside, you go through like the barn or whatever. It's really dark. To get out of the maze, like just the final part after they pull you, because they tug that Pablo, they separated us, and I was like,
wow.
no, I have only been married for a month. Like, let him go.
I'm a widow now.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, take him. Life insurance.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. No.
Hashtag priorities.
I
you
know, but to get out of the maze, like the last part, they had this hearse.
Mhm.
And I hate those. I hate funeral
So
cars.
for the
like,
viewers, what is a hearse?
it's like a funeral car,
Yeah.
like where they transport the
Yeah,
coffin,
the
right?
coffin.
And I've always,
Ghostbusters.
even like little,
Yeah.
they always gave me the
The
chills,
yeah.
right? So I'm like, oh Lord, I am not going through. But to get out, you had to.
So
the
where'd you
back
go? You went
doors-
through the back door or
Yeah.
you went through the front
The
door?
back doors were open,
Okay.
and so you had to go climb through
Oh, okay.
through the front seat to get out.
Oh, okay, cool.
And so,
Clever.
of course, you're being chased by clowns with machetes and this other clown with snakes. And I was like terrified. They pulled Pablo away from me. My friends were gone. And oh, Lord, I climbed through. I fall on my back. One clown is tugging at my feet, like, my
Yeah,
flats.
holding on to your feet.
And the other clown is at my neck with a machete. And so I'm like, I was terrified. I was like, let me go. And
Yeah.
somehow I get away from them, and I almost swung my flat at them, because I was like, they
You
were
had your shoes in your
really
hand?
rough.
Were you
He was
barefoot?
holding onto my
Oh,
flat,
okay.
so I was like, I
You
need my
pulled it?
shoes,
Yeah.
and I pulled them, and I almost swung, even though they told us not
Not
to.
to. You
'Cause
were
it
that
was-
terrified, though?
Yeah, it was just that position, that fragile, vulnerable position. Like, oh my God, what if these are not actors? What if they're
You took
real?
a wrong
And they're
turn
gonna
now
rape
you're-
me, It
Oh,
was
wow,
that
okay,
position.
went that way.
It was that position,
Yeah.
yeah. And I was like, oh Lord, like, shoot. I managed to get out, and we ran out, but that was like the scariest part for me.
Sounds like
It was
fun.
good. It was worth it.
So take
Go.
your family out.
Family night at
Children.
Toluca Ranch.
Yeah, there you go.
If you don't
A
like
Garza-
touching, don't go. But it
A
was
Garza
great.
tradition, right? Your whole, yeah. Have you ever gone with your sisters or anything to any sort of place like that?
No, well, not with my sisters, but when I was a freshman in college, we did, I was living in San Antonio, and we went to downtown on Halloween night.
Okay.
And so we did all of downtown San
Oh,
Antonio,
nice.
like all the scary, everything that was happening there. And that was, honestly, like of all the ones that were there at San Antonio, I still think Toluca Ranch is scarier
Really?
than all the ones at downtown San Antonio.
Very cool. Very cool. So our sponsors tonight are Toluca Ranch in Progreso, Texas.
Well, you, Jim,
I'm
scary.
pretty sure if we
haunted
tag him.
houses.
I've only, yeah, we could. I've only been to like the one. I've been to probably two of them. One in Harlingen and one in McAllen, which was, or I'm making that one up. I don't remember. But I took my sisters one time. So Stephanie and Jennifer, I took them out, and I don't know if Jessica was there. She might have been too young, but I took them out, and it was a cool experience for their birthday because they're October 21st. Happy birthday, y'all. And so we went out there, and it was cool because I was just psyching them out kind of how you were. You kind of have to let go because you know they're actors. You're not going to get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
You're fine. But going through there, there was some freaky parts. I mean, don't get me wrong. I wasn't not terrified at certain points, and it's so dark. And I just remember my sisters holding onto my back, like pulling at my shirts, like hiding their faces. They didn't see anything, so I don't know why they were so scared, which is funny. Stephanie and then Jennifer too. And I think it was a good time. So that's my only time going to one of those haunted places. But I had never even heard of that place until you mentioned it.
I just found out about it today because Cafe Grande was promoting it.
Oh.
And I was like,
our other sponsors.
Yeah, other sponsors. It was. I'm glad I went. Like it was a horrible experience.
What about like the corn mazes and stuff? Have y'all done those?
No, I want to do that.
Yes, I've heard of the zombie kind of corn maze. I haven't done that before.
I'd be scared of that.
I haven't. I wanted to, but I feel like I'd get so claustrophobic in there, and I don't know if I'd be able to. Like I'd just like run through the
scared of spiders and the guys from Signs coming out of the elote. Like, oh Lord,
the aliens.
Yes, like from the corn. That scene in Signs is terrible.
Oh yeah,
terrifying.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us. You can find us on Twitter at KSM Show. My name's Jim.
I'm Melinda.
Claudia.
Thanks for joining us. Bye.